Hello everybody, my name's Atley. Welcome back to my Satisfactory Let's Play. We are at the base. There's a couple of things I just need to go through before I start the episode proper that I've done off camera. One of them is I have created a blueprint. I'm not going to use it today, but I still want to show off what I've done with this. I've created a blueprint for 10 smelters. I'm just going to back up while that's building so that you can see it from above. Maybe should put a watchtower down, but yeah, 10 smelters arranged over 2 floors. And basically, the idea is that this is input. Forget the fact the belts are missing for a minute. It might be a display bug. There are some display issues that you get when you load a blueprint. But anyway, if not, I'll fix that. Thought that was done. But basically, a input line of ore, which then goes split on a manifold to 5 smelters on the ground floor, and then up a lift to an upper floor, and then the output of all 10 smelters comes back into a merge line here that is flowing in the forward direction. So I'm calling this the front of the factory, and so you put input there, output there, and that's 10 smelters, which will cope with 300 ore on that one. So when the belts are maxed and I can do 600 off a normal node, 2 of these in a linear and join them end to end, and you'll be putting iron ore in the front and getting iron ingots out of the front at maximum speed. And I haven't finished it yet. I just wanted to show it as a work in progress, but that's the idea that I'm thinking of for how I will remake my factories. And it builds it really fast, obviously. So that's that one. It's just a bit of work I'm doing just to show that I'm playing with the blueprint designer a little bit. So I'll clear that and collect my goods out of this box. Packs are pretty full because I've got a plan of what I'm going to be doing. So that's one thing I've done. Another thing I've done is in my little lab area, I've created a little box crafting setup with just the one assembler, producing AI limiters, which take quick wire and copper sheet. And I've done this here and run materials to the boxes just because I haven't currently got copper sheet and quick wire being produced in the same vicinity. So it's just easier for progression for me to have a temporary setup here. And then the other thing, this is really cool. I didn't realize you could do this, but there's if you try to create let me see if I can find where I've got that shortcutted somewhere. Do I put that on a toolbar? No, maybe not. If you try to create a screen, so this is an organization thing. Let's just say I'll put that on 7. I want to create one of these. There's a couple of places that it'll snap actually in the building. And one of them is the one that I've got there. So if you like try and arrange them, it's a difficult thing to get them to snap anywhere. But there's a couple of places, and this is another one, look, where it snaps as a predefined place. So I've just got a little to-do list, and that's what I want to try and get done. Not all in one episode, and I probably will use this other one as a episode to-do list so that I don't forget, because I am a little bit like a Labrador chasing squirrels. I have an idea of what I'm going to do in an episode, and then I get distracted and go off and do something different. But as a basic to-do list for the next immediate phases, I need to do basic oil, which is the focus of this episode, collect more hard drives, and work on my storage base, which I know where I'm going to build it. I kind of know how I'm going to build it. I just need to put the two together and get on with it. But that's for a future episode, probably. Maybe start that today, just to show my thinking on it. But it depends how we get on with basic oil. And then basic oil. Why basic oil? Let's do some unlocks. I need pretty much plastic to unlock. I could unlock that one. I'm not too worried about stun rebar. But I need plastic, so I can unlock this. I might as well. That's useful. So I'll take that one. That just allows you to put an individual power switch on each factory. And I like the idea of just being able to go to a factory and turn the entire building off if I have a power drain issue. But I really want programmable splitters. And to get them, you've got to come through supercomputers. To get supercomputers, you need these high-speed connectors, and I can't unlock them until I get plastic. That leads to power poles that can take... Mark 2s can take 7. If I'm remembering correctly, Mark 3s might take 11. And then whatever this is, and I don't know what that is because it's locked behind here. So that's that. But I've just unlocked power switches. Might not use them today, but still useful. And then the other one is the ability to scan for hard drives, which is going to be useful as well. So we will do that one. That's a good one. And then I want this, but again, I need to be able to make... Oh, only it uses 100 circuit boards. And some heavy modular frames. Maybe... So I've got some circuit boards. I've got 70 circuit boards. So again, it's another thing that's locked behind oil for me. And then the main focus, as it says on the to-do list there, is I want to do some basic oil production. Now, if I scan for oil... And then while it's scanning, because it's quite a way off, I can talk about, in the top right of the screen, the phase 3, you can slowly see that the versatile framework is ticking up because I've put down a simple box crafting similar to this setup. So there we go, 2,000 meters away, 2 kilometers away basically. There's oil in that direction, and that's around the lake that I mentioned previously. I got some hard drives from, so we're going to go back there. And then there's also some north of me in an area that I haven't been to yet. And I know that there's some kind of around this area, but I'm going to go to the lake basically. So to do that, and this is the challenge, I think, one of the challenges you get in early game, I'm going to run a power line basically from here all the way down into this lake, and then I'm going to build a little oil processing, and it'll be connected to the main grid for power. Now, that's temporary. Again, everything seems to be temporary on this save. But that's temporary because eventually there'll be a railway line that runs past that lake and connects all of my factories together. And the railway lines carry power. So eventually I won't need a temporary power line. But I am going to put one down for now because I do want to get plastic going. And I don't really want to use biomass burners, because they, like I did for the quartz, because they run out and I want more plastic than I can get from doing that. So without further ado, we will start running some power and we'll take it from here. So this is the simple assembler. It is running, I'll run down there and show you it real quick. It is creating versatile frameworks from modular frames and steel beams. And then I've put those two materials in here. I'll put exactly the right number of modular frames to do 2,500 versatile framework, and while I'm playing that can just tick away. And I've done that one manually now because it's the one, you need 2,500 and it's going to take ages whichever way you look at it. But I just thought while I'm running around I could get versatile frameworks going. But without further ado, and the challenge here is I'm going to be encountering creatures that I'll have to kill as I go, because I'm running through an area where I've not built before, and those creatures will be angry with me. And I'll probably try and turn this into a time lapse if I can. But I'm going to basically run power without foundations all the way along. Try and make it so it looks like sensible. And we're down here. So there's bees around here, and they're angry at me. And then I am going to intentionally, so I've got to kill this guy. I suppose I've got pack space for that. What's my packs like at the minute? Yeah, I don't want to fill my packs up. And on the right of the screen, I didn't mention this back at base, but you can see there's a checklist there of the things I want to build, and I've worked out how many refiners and so on I need. Now, this, technically, this isn't a bad roadway. So what I might end up doing at some point, I'm going to put all of these power poles down on the edge of this path, because I might end up doing a truck route to automate collecting oil product from this site until I've got trains, because it'll be a while before I've got trains. So here I've got to get rid of that. I need the obelisk. Don't really need to get rid of that, but I might as well. Sometimes they have. Yeah, so that thing, that work in progress summer sloop. Right, now I'm heading into an area where there's lots of critters. Let's put one here. Now I need to go in combat mode. Let's see if I can blow them up from range. What's my aiming like? Too far. But he went to investigate. Oh, got him. Got that one as well. That's 2 spitters taken out from range. Happy with that. A couple of hogs there. They're easy to fight. Alright, mate. Keep your wig on. Right. Power pole. From you. Now, where do I want this? There's a route down. I want to take the route that the truck could take. Apart from anything else, when I get lost, which will inevitably happen, it'll mean that I can just follow the power line and I'll find my way. Right, so there is a route. Let me just try and find it. Is it here? Yeah, I think this path. So the truck can come to here and then drive down that path to the next bit. And you can kind of see that on the map. I'm just going to show where I am. I think I'm safe for a second. You can kind of see that from the contours of the ground. And then there's another one to get to where I want to here. So I've just got to go a little bit more northeast to this point.
Picking up multiple fix-it personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late.
We're definitely heading into spider territory. And this is where I was running around getting the hard drives that I had in the last episode. And not enough space. Thanks for the comment, Kip. But I realized when I was editing, it probably would have been better if I'd have recorded me collecting hard drives, even though I didn't put it as main content, and then do like a time lapse or montage of any fights that I was involved with. And there were a couple. So yeah, next time I go off and do hard drive hunting without it being in the episode properly, I'll have a go at recording what I do. Oh, where am I? You can hear it. It's funny, you can hear spitters over there, iron node, bean. It'd be cool if you could like make a saddle and sit on bean and ride him around as a mount, wouldn't it? Where am I? There. I'll put this. There's iron node here. There's got to be a hogs protecting that. There. And then, okay, so this is the entrance to the other route down. Fine, I'll do this here and maybe move that one. I'll split the difference and try and get a straighter line just so I can follow my route more easily. Maybe there. That reach. Yep.
Harvest.
Let's make sure that I've still got my power. I haven't done a break in the connection anywhere. Nope, so I'm still connected. I'm probably going to have to upgrade my power installation at some point as well, which is another reason I did think temporarily about building more power down here, but I decided not to. I'm going to unlock fuel power soon-ish. And then that path down gets me to this beach. And I think I'll just follow the water line. Put this right here. Bit slow and expensive killing bees with a rebar gun. Much easier when you got the proper rifle. I don't really like fighting them with the sword. That's why I do this. There we go. Not too bad. Oh, hello, there's another one. Where is it then? Let's just kill it. Yeah, I don't like those things. What we got here? The industrial beams, all computers, that's useful. So this one, not enough space. So what's in my packs? Is there anything I can ditch yet? Not really. Tell you what I can do though. I'll build a temporary workbench. I can condense down. So hopefully that lets me then pick up the computers. And then I've got one slot left. Fine. Now this one, this is a hard drive that I wasn't able to pick up because it needs rubber. So until I've done this oil work, can't make rubber to pick that up. So we'll leave that one as it is, but there's a power pole right on it. And I think if there's a power pole there, that's what stops creatures respawning, if I remember rightly. Now, here's a bit of fun for you. We're heading into spider territory. You guys know what I'm like with spiders. Right, so we'll come along this way. That's another summer sloop inside there. Where am I? Where's the oil? Let's just scan again where the oil is. So it's here. In the spider caves. Thanks, devs.
You are so lucky that you found this most valuable artifact.
I'm just going to go in and do these with a... It's too slow using the gun. Got away with that one. Yes, sir. Not enough space. So again, back here for a little bit of safety. There's an oil node there, look. That's an impure, but I know there's better than that on this beach. And if I can use the beach and avoid going in a cave where the spiders are, I am perfectly willing to admit I'm a coward and happy to do that. So, alien DNA. Tear that down. Pull some power. And then somewhere here. So I wonder, is it this one? This normal? I want a normal node, really. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to use this node. So this is an oil node. You know, it's a sticky, RE crude oil mess. And this is a whole new tree for me. So I am going to start with some foundations. And I'll, for now, don't know how much space I need. I'm going to build 5 refineries. So I need a fair bit of space. They are quite big buildings. for now, I think I'll build over the water. So I'm going to go... I'm going to start. I'm going to world align it, obviously. I'll start with a 4-block foundation. And thank you for the comment reminding me, or yeah, refreshing my memory. There is, I frequently do this wheel option, but when you're on a particular build, if you just tap E, it cycles through them, which, depending on the complexity of the wheel options you've got, is quicker. So yeah, I'll try to remember to do that. Yeah. But thank you very much for the reminder. So I think I'm going to build there as my starter block. That is world aligned. Actually, we'll take that one down because I think I'll power it straight from that pole. So we'll zoop some that way. And then how does that zoop go that way? So what I'm going to want on this platform, production oil extractor. Yeah. And then I've got from a water thing, we're going to be pulling a 300 pipe, because that's all I can build at the minute. Mark 1 pipes. And that pipe, this plant is capable of doing 120. That's probably more than enough for now. And then I need power to it. So we'll take power from there to here. Off the back of this, because that's the clean, no-clip connection to the oil. Now, I absolutely do not need to do this, but I'll probably do it anyway. Logistics. Or is it organization? I can create a fluid buffer. And all that is a tank that will... And this isn't a use case where you would need to do this. But that tank will now start collecting oil. And will hold up to 400 cubic meters of oil. And it's useful in scenarios where you might want to pump oil to a header tank and then let it gravity feed into something for whatever reason. But anyway, they just also look a bit cool, so I've built one. And then what we're going to do is that crude oil needs to come in. I need 5 refiners, so we'll do one on this center line here with its input this end. So the refinery, turn it round because the input is this end, and I want the input on that center line, like so. And then we'll do one this side. Oh, hello. We'll do one this side. And there's going to be 4 in a row to start with. Made my platform bigger than I need. That's alright. So 4 in a row to start with. And they are each going to take in crude oil. I'll have 2 of them making plastic. That needs 30 crude oil. And you can see this is a complexity with refineries. And when you start getting into fluid, this is going to produce as an output the plastic that I want, plus some heavy oil residue as a byproduct. So 2 of them doing plastic. And then 2 of them doing rubber. Which again, 30 in, 20 out. This time there's 20 oil residue. So all of them need 30 in. That's the important thing. 30 times 4 is the 120 that this pump is producing. So that is good stuff. Now, I'm going to put down And then combined, they're going to produce 10 plus 10 plus 20 plus 20, so 60 heavy oil residue, which is a byproduct. So what I then want is facing the other way. So I'm turning it around deliberately, and I will center it. Just let's have maybe a 1 block gap, and we'll center it on this. There we go. So it's aligned the same way, and then this one will take the heavy oil residue output and turn it into... Now what I would like to do is turn it into residual fuel. So therefore fuel is useful, and it happens to take 60. But I can't do that because at the moment fuel, I've only got the ability to make it as a liquid in a pipe. One of the other things that I'll unlock once I've got plastic and rubber at my disposal is the ability to package that fuel and put it into canisters that I can then use to power chainsaws, vehicles, jetpacks, etc. But for the minute, that's not a useful recipe, because all that'll happen is that the output pipe and any storage I put on the end of it will back up. And I've got nothing I can do with that fuel until I can package it or send it to a generator again I haven't unlocked yet. So what we're going to do for now is we're going to make petroleum coke from that heavy oil residue. We're going to overclock it so that it'll take 60. So that's the 60 byproduct that we've got. And then that'll produce 180 petroleum coke, which I'm just going to send to a resource sink. No fuss, just straight into a resource sink. So the output of that refiner will come into this resource sink. And hopefully my logic makes sense. So now all I've got to do is pipe all that up. And refineries, as you can see, they have a liquid input and a solid input, the same as the coal power generators, but they also have a liquid and solid output because they produce both. So all it remains for me to do is belt this all up and cable it up. So I will do that. So the principle is going to be similar to what I did on the power station. I like to have the ability to walk around. So I'll have a pipe that joins that to that. I'll have a junction on each of these. I'll make sure that pipe works. Nope, that's too close. That's too close. Do it that way, I suppose. Nope. No. I've made that too close. Or I've put the refineries too far this way. I could have probably given myself more space to work. No, I'll go through there just now. There we go. Let me shift these refineries back. Bear with me, I'll get that done. Right, pipe this up. That's now going to flow oil into these. And it may seem silly that I've got oil coming along, I'm doing a lift and then down again. But as I've said before, I've done that because I like to be able to run around and see what's going on. So repeat that on the back. So I've got my output. Give myself plenty of room. There's no reason to squash it in. It's on the center line here. Up to maximum height. I should want it all the way here because it's going to feed into that one. And then align these. Make sure I'm snapping. And then that's just going to take that fuel it'll get pumped out of these outputs and then pumped out of those outputs, and that'll cause it to flow into that input. And then the output of this one, remember I've got to do overclocking. I've got to reset these to plastic. I want 2 of each. 2 plastic, 2 rubber. I'm actually going to change the orientation of that to be here. And then I'll put a merger on the front because there's multiple things will probably end up going into there. So now, so that's the fluid sorted. The only thing left now is belts and power. So let's put a merger line for the output. Flowing in that direction. I'll do this at floor level because I've got the luxury to do that, having elevated the pipes. So merger on each of these. That can come to a couple of smart splitters. So I'm going to want some space here to put some storage. I will not comply. You can't brainwash me, missus. We'll have a storage. So I'm going to have a couple of storage boxes. Might move that back a little bit more if I've run out of space.
Breaking news from Earth. Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
And then a smart splitter. It might seem silly on something this short to merge the two together and then split them, but it just makes the base look a bit neater, in my opinion. Move that merger to be there. And then belt this up. So we've got maximum speed belts. While we're here, configure these. So coming down this pipe will be mixed rubber and plastic. So what I want to do on this one is center output is overflow, right output is plastic. Left output none. And on this one, center output none, nothing's connected to it anyway. Left output is the overflow. And right output is rubber. Now something's not straight here. It's that one that I've just done, but that's because of the way the box is positioned.
You are so lucky that you found this most valuable artifact.
So let's put our merger on the correct line. And then the final thing to do, did I set this recipe back to petroleum coke? Yes, I did. Final thing to do, other than power, is this belt across to here, so that we just sink the petroleum coke. And like I say, as soon as I can, I'll convert that one to be doing packaged fuel, or fuel to go into a packager. Power, and we're good. So let's I've got 4 to connect here. If I upgrade that one to a Mark 2, and then I can connect that to all 4 refineries on this side. And also take another power line in this direction. The sink. And then is that everything? Is that done? This is working. First time, it'd be a miracle, wouldn't it? So we've got oil flowing at 120. The flow rate is a bit higher because it's filling up. These are producing rubber and residual oil. Off the back, I'm now should be seeing, yeah, there's rubber. I'll make sure I see it from all of them. Yep, the rubber came down that one. Plastic is the blue stuff. Plastic from that one, please. Plastic. And then that's being split correctly. Rubber on the left, plastic on the right. And then we're also seeing petroleum coke coming out of here. And petroleum coke is used later on for aluminium. At the moment, it's a byproduct. We've now got some product coming in. And we've also got power to this place. So if I wanted to now, I could build a truck stop somewhere, belt this lot into a truck stop, and have an automated truck.
Widespread chaos and mayhem. World President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
Because at the moment, in order to collect this, I have to run here to get it. I'm not belting this with conveyors all the way back to my hub. That would be madness, even for me. So at the moment, this isn't... You know, I've got to run here or drive here for that matter. I can drive in my little buggy. Now that I've done the power line. Transport.
I strongly advise you to harvest this specimen.
Whack some fuel in it. I know it won't take. I wondered if it would take this petroleum coke as fuel, but it will.
Comply.
Interesting. I'm going to see how far it'll drive on it. Because that might mean then if I did a truck stop down here, I've also got a source of fuel for the trucks. Yeah, it drives on it, alright.
Breaking news from Earth.
I might have to make a bit of a road here for it.
President urges all citizens to do their part and harvest alien artifacts.
But now I can unlock a hard drive. Because if you remember at the start of the episode, or middle of the episode, this one needed rubber, and I've now got a small amount. Bonus hard drive. I'm just going to run back real quick. See, I can see a slug in there, but I know the spider's right there. Ugh. I'm just going to run back and grab a bit more. I might set up a truck. I've never really messed with trucks very much. I just more or less jump straight to trains, and that's probably what I expect to do on this episode series. But it would be handy to have this stuff being brought to base without me having to run down or drive down.
Harvest it.
Let's drive back to base, and then that's going to be a wrap on the episode. But I can kind of feel what the route would be like if I were to record it. Supposed to be following my wire. I've lost it. Where's my wire gone? Didn't follow it, did I? Nobody told me. Right, so that's just run out of fuel. So that 14 didn't last long, did it? Trying to open the workbench. That 14 that I put in of petroleum coke didn't last very long. But I did bring a stack of biofuel with me. So this is a bit of a bumpy route for a truck to automate. I'm assuming it'll be okay though. They are pretty big trucks. The next generation of truck that I can unlock is huge. And this would be alright. And then we're on. Let's just make sure I don't loon it off a cliff, but we're basically, well, no, back there a bit. Bit of lag there while it's saved. That's the start of the path back. So this path feels a bit precarious to me to be driving at any speed. It's a lot of fun to drive this though. It's a good little explorer. I'll do. I'll just run back up to the base from here. It's quicker. The driving route back to base is around the other side of this basin. And as you can see, while we've been working away, we're approaching 2,000 of those versatile framework done. And this has been about an hour of recording. So, not too bad. They'll just get done over the next episode or two. So I'll be careful that I use, I've only got a certain amount. I'll probably run back and collect the same way I did here. I've got a storage box behind the base with silica and quartz from it, from the temporary site we put up. I'll probably run down and collect some and then bring it back by hand. So I've got enough at this base to do various things. But in terms of unlocking, I can now unlock, it would cost 200, but this is the manufacturer, the big truck, and then the 2 parts needed. So that's an important one to unlock. This is the packager. This is probably the more important one to unlock, because then I can go back to that site and create packaged fuel that is then really good for the truck. Much better than petroleum coke. So that's probably the one that I'll unlock next. And then we've got gas mask, that's another useful one. And then tier 6. This is power from oil, but you need to have automated computers really before you do that. Faster belts. And then Caterium scanning. Jetpack, really useful. I need some packaged fuel for it. So that's the second priority after getting packaged fuel. That's brilliant. I could get to that base in like less than a minute if I had a jetpack. It's so much faster than driving even. Monorail, big one. We've already talked about that. And then bigger pipes, faster pipes. Again, I just need loads of plastic to unlock all of this stuff. But I think I want to do this one next. That's going to require 200. Just out of interest, what is there on the MAM I was looking at? So this requires 50. I'll pick up some more Caterium. Right, so I'm going to wrap this episode here. That's pretty good progress. I'm quite happy with that. We will use the fruits of this episode to unlock some useful stuff and interesting stuff at the start of the next one. But for now, I'm going to leave it here. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope to see you in the next one. In the meantime, thanks and goodbye.